Welcome back to Crime Watch. I'm now joined by the City of Johannesburg Mayoral Committee member responsible for public safety, Michael Sun, to talk about the recently launched reckless driving hotline and how the city aims to curb reckless driving. MMC, great seeing you again. Very quickly, why the need to launch a hotline to do reckless driving? We know that, yes, reckless driving is a big problem in Johannesburg. Taxis are low unto themselves. Why did you and the mayor decide to launch this hotline?
Yusuf, I think it is exactly that problem. You know, we see so many social media posts. You know, a lot of our residents and motorists, you know, frustrated to an extent that they take their anger out on social media. And very often these complaints end up nowhere. So we decided, you know, certainly I've been discussing with our executive mayor, you know, Councillor Huma Mashaba, to say we need to deal with issues, you know, so that we curb this kind of lawlessness on our street. So then gives the birth of the WhatsApp-based Puyam Teto hotline. It's, like I said, it's WhatsApp-based, so complainants can take a photo, you know, record a video footage, send the complaints through with a short description of the incident, date, time and place, very importantly. And certainly from there, our JMPD officers will monitor these complaints on a 24 hours basis and then deal with the issues and, of course, you know, proceed with prosecution where there's good, solid evidence.
Now, how long will it take to prosecute? So you get a video today, you study it, you have a registration number. What happens then?
Well, I think, let me just share the number of complaints we've received so far. You know,
when did you launch this, last week?
On the 27th, Yusuf. It was 9 o'clock in the morning we launched it, and up to date we've received over 810 complaints.
810 complaints?
810.
Only for the city of Johannesburg?
Yes, just for the city of Johannesburg.
Now, I've seen some of the videos, taxi drivers largely going in the emergency lane. Is that some of the bulk or the major problems that is being reported?
A lot of the complaints received is obviously for reckless driving, but this hotline doesn't only deal with reckless driving, bylaw offences, you know, bylaw infringement. I think to answer your question, Yusuf, is that once we receive the evidence, these information and evidence will be analysed. I must also say that, you know, we also receive a lot of unusable information, such as the video footages where we see the vehicles driving past, but there isn't a clear, you know, capturing of the license numbers.
MMC, do you have capacity to deal with it? 810 in a week, it's a lot. Do you have the manpower to deal with it? And have you even started issuing fines or prosecuting anyone?
Well, we've always anticipated that when the hotline is opened up, we're going to get an influx of complaints. So there's something that we have taken into consideration. But I think very importantly is that this hotline is not an ordinary hotline. It is manned 24 hours, 7 days a week. When it comes to prosecution, we need to be very careful because there are obviously legal ambits and legal provisions we need to consider. So this is what will happen. Once a complaint is received, the complainant will immediately receive an acknowledgement to say, thank you very much, we received your complaint, followed by a reference number for future following up purposes. And from there, once the prosecution or when we have a progress, we certainly want to give some feedback to the original complainant to say that we've done something about your complaint.
Very quickly, MMC, how does a motorist report reckless driving? You take a video or you just WhatsApp the number and give detailed information. What is the number that the motorist can report it to?
Oh, the number is 081-410-6338. It's very simple. In fact, we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. The technology is there. That's why we said, let us use a WhatsApp-based. It's easy to use. Submit your complaint either in photo or video footage with a short description, time, place, and the date of the incident. But I think very importantly that we must stress we created this pilot project to ensure that we are able to curb, you know, this lawlessness on our roads, but also to say that the motorists and the residents must not do so when it's not safe, and certainly they must not operate
the safety comes first. And do you respond to them immediately to say we're attending to it?
Absolutely, we do that.
MMC, while we have you, we've seen violent protests in Alex. Roads being blockaded, the police and JMPD have been out in full force. What is the situation? Please give us an update as we speak.
Oh, Yusuf, I was there about noon today. The situation was really tense. I think throughout the day, the crowd began to disperse. As the sun set, we are receiving reports that there are still sporadic, burning of tires. Some of the roads are still being blocked. But our concern now is that as the protesters disperse, there are going to be criminal elements, hiding under this name of the protest in Alexandra, but they are looting shops. There has been reports of shooting coming out from the Bule hostel direction.
This evening?
So, yes, this evening. So, but the good thing is that we haven't received any reports of injury or death. So that's certainly something that's quite positive. But we will continue to monitor, ensure that there's a general safety in the area of Alexandra.
Now, we know that viral messages are doing the round saying there's going to be a shutdown in Fenton tomorrow. Are you aware of that, or is it only fake news?
Well, we have received that report, but we're also receiving reports that the Alex shutdown protest has been called off until Monday, where the community are able to meet amongst themselves. But then again, we see there's a developing trend, and again, it's also reported on the other media platform that this is a politically motivated protest. So we'll keep our eyes watching, and we certainly want to continue to engage with the residents of Alexandra.
Lastly, MMC, your appeal to the people of Alexandra, the law-abiding citizens. Here's your opportunity.
Yusuf, I think we respect our residents' right to protest in terms of the Constitution, but I think any protest that borders on criminality must not be encouraged. Another thing we saw today is there were a lot of youth and children that's being used at these protests. Certainly something I made a public call to say, please, parents, take your kids home. That's not a place for them to be.
MMC Michael Sun, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for giving us an update on the hotline. And yes, you can now report reckless driving in the city of Johannesburg. Can you help locate any of these missing individuals? Here is this week's Rogues Gallery. Let's get them behind bars. Remember, your tip-offs can be anonymous. Thank you for joining us on Crime Watch. I'm Yusuf Abramji. It's a war, and we are going to win it.